Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again, and it is my hope and prayer that the video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, has clearly changed his strategy. Yesterday, William Ruto was in Nyandarua County. He was accompanied by the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua.
Yes, sir. I go train. Dogino. Very good. How are you, Medo? Very good. Mama County. How are you, my dear?
Fine.
Gachagua, very good. You are in the same field.
Today, William Ruto was in Nakuru County. Again, he was accompanied by the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua.
Hapa niko na Deputy President wa Republic of Kenya. Si awasalimie. Wacha awasalimie. Pamoja. Asanteni sana Nakuru kwa kumkaribisha kiongozi wetu tukiwa tumefika hapa katika ziara ya maendeleo. Sio ni sawa sawa? Mumefurahi rais kufika mambo ya maendeleo? Hata sisi tumefika hapa, tutakuwa na rais hapa siku moja tukiangalia maneno ya maendeleo. Wangapi wanasema tuweke amani katika Kenya? Amani. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
And the other day, William Ruto was in Elgeyo Marakwet. And clearly, William Ruto has changed his strategy. And I can bet that the change of strategy is actually informed by the pressure Raila Odinga is getting from the Gen Zs, which has actually forced him to disown dialogue.
We have no use for anarchy and violence and destruction of property and loss of life. Wale ambao wana sponsor hiyo violence, sisi tunawajua. And I want to call out those who are behind the anarchy in Kenya, those who are behind the sponsoring the chaos in the Republic of Kenya. Shame on them, because they are sponsoring violence against our democratic nation. Mimi nataka niulize watu wa Ford Foundation, watuambie hiyo pesa wanatoa ifanye fujo ndio wapate faida gani? We are going to call them out and we are going to tell them, if they are not interested in democracy in Kenya, if they are going to sponsor violence, if they are going to sponsor anarchy, we are going to call them out and we are going to tell them they either style up or they leave.
And just like I've been telling you on this platform, William Ruto's strategy for 2022 was very simple. Tyranny of numbers, that is the Kikuyu nation, the Kalenjin nation, and a few votes here and there. That strategy changed, and William Ruto then focused more on Azimio strongholds, particularly the ODM strongholds. So when the demonstrations began, William Ruto was under siege. Then Raila Odinga joined him when he assented to that IBC bill, and Raila Odinga announced that they were going to initiate national dialogue.
To express themselves, to come out with the grievances which are actually ailing our country today, so that a lasting solution can be found. Because of restrictions of resources or limitation of resources, we've agreed that everybody else will bear their cost of coming to this meeting. But we want it to be a really very engaging conversation on the way forward, so that we deal with fundamental issues that are affecting our society today.
Will be willing to convene us so that we, because he's a party leader, can then clearly discuss with him. They are saying they don't need dialogue. There have been many dialogues so far. So and really this dragging of feet. We don't want to be seen to be sanitizing a regime that has fallen flat on its own tummy.
Akasema si uchawi, ni maombi. Na mimi najua Raila kubondo. Wanasema wewe ni mwenda wazimu.
Then at some point, the Gen Z started piling pressure on Raila Amolo Odinga. Walisalimia Raila Odinga sana.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker. Almost jakababa 1 hour. Mimi pia nitaenda kwa rakaraka. Mpaka sasa venye naongea saa hii, bado nimepigwa na butua. Bado niko kwa ndoto. Sijaamini visitajana bado mimi kwa Mosi. Bado niko kwa ndoto. Nimekuwa nyumbani, nilikuwa kwa gari. Kwa kuingia tu kwa simu hivi, nikakutana na Ruto. Akabeba Raila. Nasikia tu Zambe. Sema. Sijui hiyo Zambe inamaanisha nini? Raila amevaa nguo ya UDA na Ruto amebeba. Nasikia tu Zambe. Sijui hiyo Zambe ni nini? Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, baba, umetuangusha zaidi. Kama ni mbaya ni mbaya, wacha tuongee ukweli. Tulikuwa tumekisema 100%, ilirudi mpaka 10. Tumekasirika bwana. Tumesema tumewekwa ndani juu ya kusema ukweli. Ruto amenyanyaza Wakenya wanaumia. Ati bado baba Raila Odinga anakuwa Ruto. Ni kazi gani? Dialogue. Hatutaki dialogue sisi. Baba, hatutaki dialogue. Ruto aliiba.
And then out of that pressure, including the event in Kakamega, Raila Odinga has been giving in to the Gen Z demands.
Mwaka jana waliua watu wetu vijana 75 sio? Mwaka hii wameua sasa karibu zaidi ya 100. Watu kama hawa mikono yao imejaa damu. Mikono yao imejaa damu. Hatuwezi kuongea na hawa watu. Hayo mimi nasema no dialogue. No dialogue. No dialogue. No dialogue. No dialogue. No dialogue. Tunataka action.
Which has now forced William Ruto to change his strategy. So in this video, I want us to look at the new strategy which William Ruto is employing. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But before I dive in, allow me to also take this opportunity to introduce you guys to LeemFi. LeemFi is a mobile money app for users in the UK, Canada, and the United States of America to send money to Kenya. They offer the best exchange rates, and the money will be delivered into your M-Pesa account, Airtel Money account, and of course, if you want, directly into your bank account instantly. You can use the link in the pinned comment to download the app. Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto is a man under siege. As a matter of fact, even Raila Odinga is a man under siege. The Gen Zs are shaping the 2027 political equation. And so far, they've succeeded in so many ways. They've forced William Ruto to sign the bill which is going to reconstitute the IBC commissioners. The Gen Zs have also forced William Ruto to dissolve his cabinet. And currently, they are calling for William Ruto to resign from office. And as fate would have it, William Ruto is also facing another challenge, the bodies which are being retrieved from Kware. So the rage is on. But William Ruto had hoped that Raila Odinga was going to support him, that Raila Odinga was going to help him during this period. As a matter of fact, even Uhuru Odinga alluded to that. Raila Odinga's allies, people like Gladys Wanga, Opondo Kaluma, Robert Alai, were very clear on the direction Raila Odinga was taking. But after the pressure from the Gen Zs and after the Kakamega event, William Ruto has now changed his strategy. The first strategic change, which is visible from William Ruto's side, is the mending of fences with Rigathi Gachagua. You know, at some point, Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto were not seeing eye to eye. And when William Ruto dissolved the cabinet, Rigathi remained and Musalia Mudavadi. So when William Ruto decided to go to Elgeyo Marakwet for the first time after the cabinet reshuffle, he was received there by Rigathi Gachagua. Something was very clear, that for the first time after a long time, Rigathi Gachagua had the military chopper at his disposal. And you could see from his face that he was a happy man. Rigathi Gachagua then was again at hand to receive William Ruto in Nyandarua. Again, the military chopper was at his disposal. And even the way they were communicating, the body language, the tone was also very clear that the two are mending fences. Why do you think William Ruto is trying to mend fences with Rigathi Gachagua? Two main reasons. Number one, there is the Mount Kenya factor. You see, the truth of the matter is that William Ruto has lost substantial votes from the mountain. If he were to fail out with Rigathi Gachagua, it was going to even deepen. So to avert that and to try and recapture the mountain, Rigathi Gachagua is now back. Let me use this guy to explain.
Guys, how many videos did I do warning you against Gachagua? Telling you the Gachagua you are seeing atazunguka akijifanya wanapigana na Ruto na atawarudisha wote kwa Ruto asubuhi akiwaambia the same nonsense that he was saying 2022. Huyu ni muungwana, huyu ni wa Mungu, Mungu anataka tuchague Ruto, Mungu anataka tukae na Ruto, Mungu anataka. I told you people of Mount Kenya. I told you. Wengi wenu hamkunisikiza. Now listen to Gachagua today. The same nonsense that huyu ni mungwana, huyu ni mtu wa Mungu, Mungu anataka tumheshimu, tukae na William Ruto, hata vile yako, hata akiharibu Kenya. Listen to this guy today. I told you people, mimi semagi mambo kama mwenda wazimu. Listen to him.
Sisi rais katika eneo hili nifanye ndio nikuite. Mimi nauliza watu wa Mlima Kenya, tafadhali tusifuate mienendo tumeona idea zingine. Watu kutukana kiongozi ambaye amechaguliwa. Nimeona jana watu wakiongea huko eneo ingine wanatukana huyu kiongozi. Huyu kiongozi ndio tumechagua. Sisi watu ya eneo hili ni watu tuko na nidhamu na tuko na heshima na viongozi. Huyu Rais William Ruto sisi ndio tumechagua. Tumpatie heshima na tumsaidie. Akitukana na watu wengine sisi tusiingie kwa hiyo mtego.
Number two, William Ruto is also mending fences with Rigathi Gachagua because Raila Odinga is expressing his interest in 2027. You see, I've always told you that William Ruto is keen on sending Raila Odinga to the African Union as the chair. He's keen on that because William Ruto believes that if Raila Odinga were to leave, then he stands a better chance of inheriting his support base. So he's been planning to do everything. But Raila Odinga is now being persuaded that William Ruto is not going to serve 2 terms. William Ruto's term is going to come to an end, and therefore he might have a chance. And because Raila Odinga has now signaled that he might still be interested in 2027 election, William Ruto has to figure out the best strategy, because so far the mountain is going. These are the regions after the protest and the rest. William Ruto is currently has been given a bad name, let me put it like that. So that is the first thing, trying to mend fences with Rigathi Gachagua. Number two, if you are keen, William Ruto is also trying now to consolidate his strongholds. When you talk of William Ruto's strongholds, we are talking of the mountain, which was drifting away. Of course, William Ruto went to Elgeyo Marakwet, Nyandarua, Nakuru, William Ruto has met with leaders from Murang'a, with leaders from Kiambu, with leaders from which other place? Even Nakuru at State House. So basically, William Ruto is trying to consolidate their strongholds because he's not very sure. Let me explain to you why William Ruto is not very sure. If Raila Odinga were to run today, it means Kalonzo Musyoka is also definitely going to run. Kalonzo will consolidate to Kambani. Raila will consolidate his strongholds. Then if you were to fall out with Rigathi Gachagua, then it was going to mean that Rigathi Gachagua was also going to consolidate the mountain. So where do you think William Ruto was going to get the votes? That's why he's reaching out to Rigathi Gachagua, and I'm sure William Ruto is trying to move around to try and consolidate his support base. The third thing which is also very clear is that William Ruto is now discarding his allies who are being viewed as baggage on his back. He has kicked them out from the cabinet because most of them were really draining him. William Ruto has been moving around without some of his allies. Today, for the first time, he was joined by the Molo Member of Parliament, and you can clearly tell that even the presence of that guy has eroded some of the gains he was making. Because listening to the statement this guy was making, whether it was necessary.
Tax ya nini ikajaa uongo mingi sana. Sasa wakati tunaongea kuhusu bajeti hii, kwa sababu now is under the hands of the National Assembly, wananchi wako na nafasi ya kutuma maoni wao na deadline ni next week on Monday. Kwa hivyo tafadhali jisomee, jione, angalia vile jinsi inchi yako inaendeshwa na wacha maoni yako yasikike mahali ambapo yanafaa kusikiza. Maoni ya bajeti haitakuwa kwa barabara, haitakuwa kuchoma biashara za watu, haitakuwa kwa kuchoma mali ya watu, itakuwa kwa kufanya discussion mahali ambapo inastahili. Na nirudie.
And lastly, if you are keen, William Ruto is now trying to move region per region. He was in Elgeyo Marakwet doing specific things. He was in Nyandarua launching specific things. He was in Nakuru, very specific things. Why? William Ruto wants to try and communicate. He wants to improve his communication. In fact, if there's one area where William Ruto has failed completely, then it's his communication team. They're used to propaganda so much. Kenyans don't feed on propaganda that much. You can use propaganda during campaigns, but once William Ruto was elected, then they needed to now focus on proper communication. So that if the president is in Nakuru and he has done A, B, C, D, they should be able to highlight. So that, for example, someone like me who is in Kisumu can just feel, hey, bwana president anafanya kazi, huko Nakuru amefanya, things like those. So William Ruto has actually accused his team when he was on the spaces that his team was not really communicating, and therefore he is intending to revamp. I think he's not trying to revamp that communication by going outside there himself and doing specific things. The only disadvantage with this is that sometimes William Ruto can make promises which we are listening to this promise.
Our children, our daughters, and all citizens of the Republic of Kenya. Ndugu zangu watu wa bondeni. Si mnajua kuna barabara hapa ya Martin Luther. Hiyo barabara yenu ya Martin Luther hapa tunatandika lami saa hizi.
I don't know what you think, but for me, I think William Ruto has changed his strategy. And it's good for him. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.